this is a generational heist for the Chicago Bulls, as there has been a lot of talk surrounding Jonathan Kuminga joining the Bulls that has stretched into this season, with Kuminga not being a long-term piece for the Golden State Warriors. We are now seeing a perfect opportunity arise for the Chicago Bulls to get the steal that they have been waiting to get, to continue building on what has been an awesome season thus far. We're going to break all that down and jump right into it as always, guys. But real quick, if you're not subscribed to Bulls Digest, man, what are you doing if you're part of that 66%? The Bulls have not lost a game yet. Why not? Let's really get going. Let's keep grinding on these videos. We're going to have videos every single day coming out that you don't want to miss out on. Tons of Bulls updates on the NBA's undefeated Chicago Bulls right now, who are on a miracle run that is continuing and continuing. But let's jump right into the video, guys. There is a lot to go over on this situation, because even now, even with the season beginning and the Bulls being undefeated, Jonathan Kuminga and the Bulls have still been linked to each other time and time again, and it just happened again. We're seeing more noise about Jonathan Kuminga joining the Chicago Bulls, and this is absolutely huge, as an NBA insider has revealed a huge update on this. My eyes are tearing. I do have a nasty cold right now. It hurts to talk. See? But we're going to push right through, guys. We're pushing right through. Look, here's the deal. An NBA insider did propose a deal that would be a steal for Arturas Karnisovas and the Bulls. And jumping into that, David Aldridge, yes, that one that we always skip past in NBA 2K, he mentioned that Jonathan Kuminga's shelf life in the Bay is limited. The Dubs could end the suspense with a reasonable gamble that the 27-year-old Kevin Huerter can get back to being the elite marksman he was in Atlanta and early in his Sacramento days, which would be a good bet given the guys who would be on the floor with every night in San Francisco. Chicago would get 2 years to evaluate Kuminga's skill set alongside Josh Giddey and Matas Buzelis. Indiana, who also gets mentioned here, would do well to add the long and pesky Ayo Dosunmu in a trade to spell Andrew Nembhard at the point this season, while potentially being a low-cost re-sign next summer to back up Tyrese Halliburton when he returns from the injury. Now, the official trade was, that is a crazy little look on my screen right now. I'm on the road right now. The Warriors would trade Jonathan Kuminga to Chicago for shooting guard Kevin Huerter. Bulls trade Ayo Dosunmu to Indiana. Pacers trade wing Ben Shepherd to Chicago and center Tony Bradley to Golden State. The Warriors desperately need another big man. Tony Bradley gives them that, while also the Bulls acquire Ben Shepherd and Jonathan Kuminga in a robbery. This is the robbery of the century right here, man. This is what we want to go see the Bulls do. Maximize on young talent while you're winning with young talent right now. That is where you want to move. You don't lose assets. You can keep moving forwards, and you still have a treasure trove of picks for when you want to go out there and make that blockbuster deal to make this team a full-blown contender. That is what you do in this situation. And we've seen it from recent Bulls games. I mean, this one right here is the epitome of what the Bulls have been. This is a team effort across the board. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. 8 people in double figures out of the 10 that played. The two guys who weren't were Julian Phillips and Jalen Smith, who played 10 and 7 minutes respectively. Everybody who played 20 minutes and more put up 10 points or more. This is the Billy Donovan offense that we have been waiting for. We are watching it pan out. We're watching a team-first style that is absolutely perfect for the Bulls going forwards. And man, on top of that, just looking at everything with this Bulls team and just overall, when we see the guys who they'd be acquiring, they'd acquire Jonathan Kuminga, who's putting up 17.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds and 3.5 assists. He's shooting 45% from 3 and 55% from the field. The man has been unbelievable. On top of that, they'd also be acquiring Ben Shepherd, who has had a horrific start to the season shooting only 32% from 3 or from the field and 16% from 3. But he is grabbing a lot of rebounds, pulling down 7 rebounds at 6'6" is very impressive. He's a very good attack defender. Puts up 7.6 points per game as well as a reasonable gamble for the Bulls. While they give up Ayo Dosunmu to the Pacers, and Dosunmu's been on a heater this year, putting up 16 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 57% from the field and 47% from 3. Though he hurt to lose, at the same time, it does make sense to bring in Kuminga, and at the same time, moving on from Kevin Huerter, who's shooting well in the corner at 43%, but only 33% overall from 3, shooting 54% from the field, and still putting up 14 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He'd be a good gamble for the Warriors, who would likely solve the shooting problem within minutes, and it does make sense to go out there and make a move like this, because again, the Bulls right now, nobody saw this coming. Nobody expected this team to go out there and just be winning like this. But now that they are, Arturas is to sort of change tune to a degree. You don't do a full overhaul. That's not what I'm saying. But you do take a look into everything and start to wonder, all right, where exactly do we want to go from here? What do we want to do moving forwards with the Chicago Bulls? Do we want to start going for talent? Because if you do, this is an easy way to get some talent in Jonathan Kuminga, who we know the Bulls love. So you add Kuminga, you then have a starting unit of Giddey next to eventually Kobe White when he comes back. But until then, you could throw Ben Shepherd in there. You could throw a few different names in there, but let's just throw Ben Shepherd into it because he's involved in the trade as well, so it's more fun to do that. Then on top of that, your forwards are Buzelis and Kuminga, and then you got Vooch at the 5, man. And this is a team that's already winning games. This will just make them win more. This is a perfect move for the Bulls, and this is the perfect time to go out there and try to make a move like this. Now, Kuminga, for his rebounds per 36 minutes, he's putting up 9.2 this season. It's improved every single year. And as we see from Max Klotz right here, it's early, but Kuminga looks to have flipped a switch on the glass. If he keeps rebounding and attacking the basket and defending, Steve Kerr will play him heavy minutes. So the Bulls, they want to make this deal before it's too late. Strike while the iron's still hot before all of a sudden the Warriors like, why would we trade Kuminga? Why would we move on? We see him really come into his fruition that now we want to prevent him from going anywhere. So when we think about that, this would be the right time for the Bulls to go out there and try to make that move. And fans have been discussing a lot, saying, so, who are you when you want him at the deadline, when you all want basically just a whole lot of talking about now Kuminga is good. Finally, Steve Kerr is holding him back and will start Moody at the 2. Now everybody's a Kuminga fan. A month ago, y'all said he was a bum. Now, all that stuff. We're seeing Stephen M. Allen really, really hype for him, which shout out to Stephen. And saying that fans are saying he's been on the way. We just wanted him to really figure out his game, and that's basically what has happened, and fans are absolutely loving it. On top of that, on the topic of Kevin Huerter, as Kevin Huerter Muse mentioned, it's a 3-game sample size, I know, but to the start of the year it's something. It's a 3-game win streak that has been showing the highlights of Huerter's game so far, but his weakness is like his shooting percentage, but his stats looking pretty good outside of that 3-point shot, which over the next couple of games, obviously, as we know, totally improved. This is the move for the Bulls. You go out there, the East is wide open. I'm not saying the Bulls have to contend this season. It's still a stretch. But you want to start adding talent because now you know you got something. You figured your core out. You got Josh Giddey. You got Buzelis. He's breaking out. There's a whole lot to like about this team right now. The one thing is you still need that number 1 option. When you find that number 1 scoring option, it feels like everything's going to come to fruition. You have to find who that is. Now, is Kuminga that? Probably not, no. But he does give you another young player who's under contract, who's enticing to use, and you can move forwards knowing that you have something there. From there on, what you do next is you just continue to build on that. You continue to build this process up because right now the Bulls are going to be a playoff team. It'd be very surprising if they're not. So when we see that, we understand it's like, all right, that's the first step, and we keep adding talent, and then all of a sudden, when we see the option to go out there and get a star, whether that's in the 2027 monster free agency class or through some sort of trade, that's you set yourself up perfectly for long-term success. That is what we've been waiting to see for the Bulls, and now we're finally seeing it. Guys, what do you think? Would you do this deal, or would you want to keep everything the way it is with the way the Bulls have started the season? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.